Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmic. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad that each and every one of you are here. My name is Devon, and I will be doing a collective message today. So, with that, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay, so I got the insight before recording. I knew that there was a message that wanted to come through today. And then I was on the way to this new little like coffee shop thing. It's like a fancy little coffee shop. Really cute. But anyways, I was on the way there and the song Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen came on. And I kind of smirked because sometimes when these song synchronicities come through, it just feels a little bit different. And so I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, there's a message here. And then right before I sat down to record, I remembered hearing that song because it was on the way there. So it went there, sat down. It's like a little restaurant coffee thing. So we were there for like an hour. And then I came back and got my kiddo situated and then was like, okay, I'm going to record. And then I heard that song come up right before. So I knew that that was for this message. And then I was like, is it really for this message? And then I heard yes. And then basically the insight that I got is that is the message that your feminine is sending to you right now. So it's that call me maybe energy. All right. So this is going to be for the divine masculine. I wasn't sure if it was going to be just a general counterpart reading or if it was for the masculine, and it indeed is for the masculine. Okay. So this card kind of came out weird. So we're taking it. This is the sixth chakra. This is the almost said indigo. That's the color of the chakra. Um, so yeah, the color's indigo. It's the third eye. It sits in between, it's kind of like on the middle of your forehead almost. If you, okay, apparently we're going to go into this. So if you're wondering if you have your third eye open or if it's opening or activating, what you can do is you can take your finger and put it in front of where your third eye is and see if you feel anything. So sometimes there'll be pressure. Sometimes you can get headaches, like sinusy headaches. That being said, we're talking about energetic systems that are coming online. So if you're concerned with your physical health in any way, definitely check that out with the medical professional. I'm not offering medical advice. We're talking about things from the energy standpoint. But the third eye, especially when it's first opening or really unblocking or going through a big activation, you can get kind of like pressure headaches, sinus pressure headaches. You can get ringing in the ears. I just heard that one. Interesting. I never associated that with the third eye. Makes sense. The third eye is also known as the seat of intuition, so that's where we are seeing things clearly. It's blocked by illusion, and then it is our insight. So it's seeing clearly. So a lot of people kind of have this notion that when your third eye is open, you're going to be seeing ghosts and stuff everywhere you go. And sometimes, yeah, depending on how open you have it and if you're open to seeing that kind of stuff and everything, but it's really being able to see things clearly, to see beyond something. So if you're a truth seeker and you can see beyond the narrative and know what's really going on, that's the realm of the third eye. But it is also clairvoyance as well. You could also be having super vivid dreams right now, and you could be getting actual visions. That's part of the third eye as well. But I will say it's kind of a misnomer in the literature that, you open your third eye and then you see other realms all the time. That's not necessarily how it works. It can, and you absolutely can see into other realms, other dimensions. If your third eye is open and just going crazy, when you close your eyes, you'll see visuals sometimes. Sometimes it can be like visions of different things. It can be geometric symbols. Sometimes you'll see faces, and I am being called to say this. So if you are closing your eyes, especially like as you're drifting off to sleep, and then you're seeing weird faces, and it's kind of startling you, just push that energy away and just basically like, no, thank you. I'm not open to this kind of thing. Sometimes that can happen when you're first really opening the third eye, especially before you learn to like really clear and cleanse and protect your energy, things like that. You can pick up on, you can see other realms, so you can see realms you don't want to see as well. But you have free will, you're a sovereign being, and so you can just claim like, no, I'm not going to see this kind of stuff. I'm open to high vibrational energies only. I'm only open to that which is for my highest good. I'm a sovereign being of love and light, that kind of thing. And pull down into your heart space, feel that love frequency, and that will immediately transmute any fear level energies coming in. There's a whole random little side tangent on the third eye. So maybe you're really working on opening your third eye consciously, or it's already open, and that might just kind of clear up. Like if you've been wondering, is my third eye actually open? There's some insight for you. I will say if you're on this message and you're resonating with being a counterpart, you've probably had your third eye open longer than you realize, at least a little bit. A lot of us on this journey have had our third eye open since we were kids. Sometimes society will close it down, but not always. So, yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and move on. We've got blossoming abundance, and it landed on the third eye chakra. So, part of this could actually be your abundance. What I'm picking up is for some of you, you might be getting into content creation, making music, making art, something like that. There's a creative energy that's coming through, and it's almost like you're pulling in some of that otherworldly inspiration and getting ready to channel it through in some way, bring it into the physical realm. I have been talking about that with this counterpart in particular. With this counterpart energy, is I'm picking up very creative types for both of you, you and your counterpart. And so this could be something that's naturally happening in your energy and is just going to expand if and when you do choose to reach out to your feminine. I am picking up a no contact situation. If you are in contact with them, it's surface level. This isn't, you're not like on your way to fully reconciling. It would be very surface level. Maybe you see them out and about in your daily life, but it's just like, hey, how's your day? It's not that deep level of, kind of reconciliation or deep connection in the physical world. You have a deep connection. That's just I heard there's nothing you can do about that one. Like that's just the nature of these connections, but I'm not picking up a physical depth in the connection in the physical world right now. So that being said, there's definitely a connection between your abundance and your intuition. Um, yeah, okay. Then we've got, okay, what in banana sandwich is going on here? Um, okay, I'm being told to start talking through it and it'll come. All right, so we've got adjacent possibilities, rest and rejuvenation, and the attachment card came out on top of both. So, what could be going on is you could still have some sort of energetic attachment to something. And this can be a limiting belief. This can be a person that's kind of karmic-y or draining your energy. Somebody who's not completely on the same wavelength as you anymore is what I'm hearing. So this could be something that recently shifted. This can be vice energy. This can be I mean it can be all sorts of things, but basically it's an attachment to something that is no longer serving. And what Okay, so this attachment could actually, so some of the vice energy that I was picking up is actually, it could be something to do with like excessive screen time. So it doesn't have to be like drugs or alcohol or something. It can be something like that, like excessive screen time that is interfering with your ability to rest and rejuvenate. and to see other possibilities that are opening up to you right now. And then we've got appreciation. And this is talking about that attitude of gratitude, being thankful for being on the journey, being thankful for your experiences and what's going on in your life now, and just for, this experience and all of that. I'm picking up that there has been a recent shift when it comes to this. So maybe you've been doing something consciously. I'm seeing like a gratitude journal. So maybe you are doing a gratitude journal where you're writing down a couple things that you're grateful for every day. It's really helpful if you do that, if you write down why as well, because it pulls it in a little bit deeper. So like I'm thankful for the sun. Why? Because it provides life and solar energy and recharges the body and so on and so forth. But it anchors it in a little bit deeper. Okay, I'm being guided to say this. This is that's funny. Thank you for the reminder. This is something that I did for a long time and I actually kind of fell out of the habit of it and just recently started doing it again. So in the morning I will say most of the time to myself, sometimes out loud, but I'll say one thing I'm grateful for, one thing I'm proud of myself for, and then I will ask for like extra assistance on this day from angels or the spirit team or spirit, whatever you work with. But it's intentionally calling in that source energy. If you do that daily for a week, you will be amazed. I'll just say it this way. I was amazed. It energetically will shift, especially that being proud of thing. I actually heard this from, I think her name's, yeah, it's Theo, and Theo channels through, I think it's a group of archangels, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but this was a practice that Theo was talking about on one of the shows that I was watching. It was like an interview with her. And this is something that was given to her, I think, by the angels as a gratitude practice every morning. It's really quick, but that thinking of something you're proud of yourself for, it really helps to shift your energy because it's like I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, and it can kind of be one of those, it's still a little bit outside of yourself. You're not fully feeling it sometimes, just depending. Like I'm grateful for running water. It is nice. That's great. But when you're like, what am I proud of myself for? It does two things. One, it anchors in that energy a little bit deeper, that gratitude energy, but then it also helps with the inner critic, with that ego mind, and is like, okay, wait a minute. And it can be something little. I'm proud of myself for how I handled that situation, or I'm proud of myself for going to bed at a decent hour. Whatever. It can be small, but it helps to kind of shift that inner monologue, which has been coming up in these readings lately. So, okay, interesting. Okay, so we've got the deceit card. This deceit card is like it's just a coming and a coming in these readings. Okay, so I'm not really picking up an external energy with this one. Sometimes this can indicate somebody around you not being completely honest or kind of in that deceptive energy, but I'm really picking up for most of you, this is an internal deceit. And that makes sense because we were just talking about the inner critic, the ego. I've heard it called the parasite, the bitch voice, whatever you term it. It's just that part of the mind that's like it's the critic. It's the that wasn't perfect. This isn't possible. Who do you think you are? Are people actually going to listen to you? That kind of thing. It's the naysayer in the brain or in the mind, really. Um, and the less you pay attention to it, but it's kind of a dual thing. So it's one of those, don't reject your ego, because your ego, it's not bad. It's just it's been running the show. We're trained for the ego to run the show. And it's shifting that and allowing your higher self to start running the show a little bit more, and you kick your ego into the back seat and just like, hey, thank you for keeping me alive. If we're in a life threatening situation, by all means take over, but until then, I'm actually going to have you just take a day off, take some time off, enjoy the back seat and the scenery. Let's let the higher self drive. And it's just a way to kind of lessen that part of the mind that just can take over sometimes. So I feel like you're still dealing with that. Maybe there's a part of this where you're still attached to the ego. Maybe you're attaching to these naysayer thoughts, these critical thoughts, these it has to be perfect, or the the fun one in this type of a situation, especially no contact. The there's no way, this isn't real. This person doesn't feel like that for me, so on and so forth. It's that real, critical inner voice. And uh, yep, that's all that wanted to come out about that. Just got cut off with my spirit. Happens sometimes. Okay. Is love what's masculine? Okay, interesting. Give me just a second. I gotta figure out what's going on with these cards really quick. So I paused it really quick to figure out what's going on with the cards because the way that they ended up falling out, and then like how I was placing them caught my attention. And normally when it does this, it's actually indicating two different energies. So I figured out what's going on with the cards. But when I went to unpause it, I noticed that I actually paused it at 1616, which is for sure an angel number. So I looked that up really quick. Now, 1616, just the angel number, the general message is be very mindful of your thoughts because you're manifesting your reality very quickly. Um, then I looked it up for twin flames, which is just an easy tagline to put at the end for counterpart situations. And this is what 1616 means. It's a powerful sign for twin flames or divine counterparts, take what resonates, signaling imminent reunion, a deepening connection, and a need to foster self love to continue to prepare for union. It encourages clearing away negative energy and continuing to focus on personal growth, indicating that you and your partner are on the right path towards a harmonious, renewed connection. The part that's really catching my attention is this imminent reunion. A lot of numbers don't have that. There's a few that do. I've been seeing a few of them, but that's pretty profound. So just a little extra confirmation there. Okay, what's going on with these cards is quite fascinating. So, what I'm picking up is that this is actually your energy, masculine. We've got the adjacent possibilities, rest and rejuvenation, and attachment and deceit. And so, I feel like this is your energy right now where you're looking for other possibilities, maybe kind of like. mm, I also heard looking for a doorway in. Um, Okay, so there's an interesting message coming through. It's like you're looking at all of these different doors and seeing them as closed, and you're like, well, I can't reach out to this person that way. I can't talk to him that way. I can't because of this. Not now's not the time because of that, so on and so forth. When you actually have this like big glowing door at the end of this hallway. And so it's just one of those like it's right here. You just get to open the door. You know how to reach out to this person. You know how to reconnect with this person. And I'm saying like reconnecting and a reunion. So for a lot of you, this could be a situation where you have met your counterpart, you had interactions with this person, whether they were romantic or not. It's going to vary for each of you. And then the separation phase happened, and now you're at a point to where you're kind of figuring it out. Your person's probably already mostly figured it out at this point with this energy that I'm feeling. And now it's just this time of how are you going to bridge that gap from the human perspective in the physical world. Um, and then what's interesting is I was like, okay, is this the feminine's energy? And then what I heard was this is how you're viewing your feminine. You're viewing your feminine in this beautiful, glowing gratitude energy. And then you're viewing them as very intuitive, and it's almost like you're looking at them as though they're already on their dream timeline and they have blossoming abundance. So you're looking at your feminine as very abundant, very almost etheric. I'm seeing like a person that's just like glowing. And so it's almost like that's how you're viewing your feminine. And because you feel like you're in this energy, you're looking for other possibilities because you don't want to bring this energy to your feminine. The funny thing is, your feminine in this energy actually has the ability to help you transmute some of this energy. And it's naturally going to happen anyways when you reconnect with your person, because it's going to energetically shift you into a point to where you can more naturally embody your higher timeline, your dream reality, really. um which is interesting because there's lots of different recommendations for these connections, and a lot of the recommendations is like you need to be fully healed before you go towards your person. The masculine has to be fully in this energy and the feminine has to be fully in this energy. Well, the thing is, there is only a certain amount of growth that can happen out of relationships. A deep, big part of our growth happens in relationships. That's when that's like the practical training ground to see, how deep have you gone as far as this healing these, childhood wounds. How much really, it's like putting it to the test almost. And the thing is it's one of those you're not going to fully know until you reconnect with your person. And I feel like you're going to be pleasantly surprised with your level of growth. And then you're going to realize with your feminine, yes, you may still view your feminine in this very etheric type of an energy, but you're also going to see that they are indeed too a human, and they have bad days and they have good days. And their intuition isn't always screaming at them. Sometimes it's just one of those days, and the intuition isn't really, you know, I mean, the intuition doesn't really scream at you, but hopefully you get what I'm saying. Um, and so I feel like it's still kind of this illusion energy, which is this deceit energy of viewing your feminine almost on a pedestal, not realizing that you are on the same level as your feminine. That's why these messages are coming through so heavily right now. And I just got really hot, which could just be because I get hot naturally. But you could, when you think about your feminine or you feel into your feminine's energy, more of that higher self energy, you might get flushed. Or that could be what you're going to experience on a physical level when you do reconnect with your person. You might get like waves of heat. When you get waves of heat like that, sometimes that can be Kundalini activations or Kundalini rising. That can just be that it's intense ass energy, but it's at the base of the spine and it moves up and down the spine, and it's powerful energy, and it actually will clear your energy systems rapidly. And that might be another part of what is going to happen for you when you reach out to your feminine. Most likely at this point on the journey, your feminine's already experienced the Kundalini aspect of this, and maybe you have, maybe you haven't. It's going to vary. But that could be another thing that is really why these messages are coming through so heavily right now, is because by you reaching out to your feminine, even if you're not in physical contact, just energetically exchanging, your words on the phone or something, or like eye contact on a video call, take it as it resonates. But that, when you're in communication with your counterpart, can trigger a Kundalini awakening. And when that happens, it can help you to clear a lot of blocks and help to fully release these attachments. So the recommendation isn't to go to your feminine and dump this energy onto your feminine. It's just letting you know that how you're viewing the situation is a little bit skewed right now. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Then down here, this is what you have available for you if you choose to walk through that door towards your feminine. divine counterpart energy, harmoniously balanced masculine and feminine energy. And in there, this is also indicating the balance of masculine and feminine energy within you and your person as well. So it's very much just an overall balanced energy. Then we've got woman holding a heart, which is your feminine holding their heart for you. And then we've got the sun, which is a beautiful new beginning, a bright new shiny beginning with your counterpart who indeed does love you. And I just got chills on that one. And then to bridge this gap, um it's realizing that this is a caring connection, it's reciprocal, it's very much a romantic type of an energy. So for this one, on a couple of them, I'll pick up different threads of like the union potential, and sometimes it'll be just to work together or just to kind of clear the air and go your own separate ways. Or just, be friends. In this one, I am picking up a mutual desire for a romantic union at some point. What I'm seeing is for some of you, one or both of you are going to be required to walk away from something in order to make this happen. And so for you, if you're in another relationship, then that would be what that indicates. Maybe it's going to be a location change, a job change, career change, something like that, walking away from old ways of doing things, old limiting beliefs, so on and so forth. And then for some of you, this is going to be your feminine that will need to walk away from something in their life. And again, it can be any of those things or whatever else. It's just walking away from something that is kind of just not conducive to the union between you two. And then, okay, what I saw as well is it's 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 like once you reconnect with your person, then you both are fully shifting into this blossoming abundance and cornucopia energy and this appreciation energy, as well as the highly intuitive energy. Um, so it's like you both are really going to be able to shift into this and anchor this in. I feel like your feminine is indeed close to the dream timeline. And your feminine actually could energetically, well, most likely is already in the energy of their dream timeline. So it's an energy thing. So I feel like for a lot of you, your feminine has actually recently quantum shifted, which huzzah to that. That's an intense experience. But I feel like your feminine has quantum shifted and is energetically more in alignment with this dream timeline. But the thing is you're right there too. And so by you connecting with your feminine, it's like that's going to help both of you to really lock in that energy and anchor it in and really experience this cornucopia energy in the physical realm. And then we've got strategy and patience. These cards come out a lot. Okay. For some of you, you may be feeling an urgency to reach out to your person. Um, Pay attention to that. If you're really feeling that urgency and that call and you're resonating with messages like this, there is a union window open right now, and energetically, you and your person are in alignment for this. So it's literally the ball's in your court. Um, Anything else with that one? No. Okay. Then we've got the strategy card. So is this saying to come up with a strategy? No. Okay, what I'm getting from this strategy card and the placement and everything is once you do reach out to your feminine, you both are going to come up with a strategy together on how to physically anchor this in. And for a lot of you, it's going to, well, for most of you, it's going to be listening to your intuition and allowing that strategy to come through. So this is going to be like divine guidance that will come through for both of you. once you reach out to your person. Okay. So I had to pause it again to get a drink of water, and normally I don't need to drink a bunch of water during the readings. I can go for like an hour without taking a drink sometimes. Could be the espresso that I just had like an hour ago. But um I was like, this is weird because I've had to pause it a couple times. Normally, say normally, in a lot of these messages when we're talking to my counterparts, I will actually get interrupted. Most of the time it's my daughter, but it'll just be random. And sometimes there'll be an animal or like noise outside or something, and then I have to pause it. It happens a lot. And so I was like, okay, is this an interruption? Even though it was like an interruption by my thirst. Um, the thing is I am being guided to talk about this. So here we go. Read between the lines. I have to be careful of how I say this because of YouTube and the guidelines. So when we're talking, this is divine counterpart energy, obviously. That's why you're here watching this. Um, okay, external influences that are lower vibrational are on it when it comes to keeping counterparts in a physical separation. And the reason for that is because if you stay in separation and you're in the longing and the I want to, but maybe this isn't real, and you're stuck in your head and you're really feeding the systems that counterparts came here to help dismantle energetically. So when counterparts come together, the whole reason that counterparts choose to incarnate in two different bodies and then attempt to have a physical union is because the energy when these two souls, it's semantics, when these two humans are in the same space and they're experiencing a harmonious union in doing life together, the energy of that is so impactful that it just ripples out into the collective, and it helps to literally shift the vibration of the planet, which is what we're going through right now. So understand that sometimes what this is, when this deceit energy, this mental chatter, this ego, the inner critic, when that's getting really loud, or if you're sharing this journey with somebody and they're kind of putting doubt into it or just not really supportive of you in connection with this person, that can be those external forces coming in to keep you in a physical separation, because it is highly problematic for the systems that be to have a bunch of counterparts coming into union. And the thing is over the past few years, more and more counterparts are fully going through the awakening, understanding what's going on, and coming back into union with their counterpart, whether it's a full-blown romantic union or just, friends or whatever. It's energetically very problematic for the systems that be. So, what I would highly recommend is to find something that resonates with you on how to clear and cleanse your energy and also protect your energy. And part of this is also going to be hearing what the inner critic is saying, but not allowing it to drive the car, not allowing it to run the show, allowing it to be, a background, like an extra character instead of the main character that's running the show. Um, and there's all sorts of different techniques to do that. You can practice mindfulness techniques, you can do actual meditation. You can do something like use a selenite wand. I've got mine wrapped with chakra crystals, but you can get regular selenite wands. I have selenite all over. It's actually cool. This is also an installation in a lot of houses. Um, it's very high vibrational. It never needs to be cleansed. And you can just kind of wave it through your energy field. and it will remove hooks and attachments and all sorts of things. Um, Interesting. So, am I really being guided to go into this right now? Okay, right when I said attachments, I saw the attachment card. Some of you could actually be dealing with energetic attachments. We get attachments all over the place. It's an energy thing. We live in a dual energy realm. So you've got the low vibrational energies and the high vibrational energies, and it's not better than, less than, it's polarity. And so it we can get attachments in our food, and this is on an energetic level. So we can get attachments from our food, from what we drink, from um dense dense vibrational environments. I'm seeing a work environment that's kind of chaotic. There's like a lot going on, and that can create that kind of disharmony type of an energy. So you could be picking up attachments just from your daily life, and it's nothing to be scared of. It's just being aware of it so that you know how to energetically cleanse yourself. So we're getting into spiritual hygiene, which is just as important as physical hygiene. And that's why I like crystals, because they're quick, they're easy, they're very, very powerful. There's a whole lot of science in it as well. It's really fun, fascinating. I will be doing other videos on crystals and the science behind it, and bridging the gap of, oh, it's just a shiny rock, to actually you can use this to do a lot of really cool stuff, and it actually does have effects on the physical body. Um, but I would definitely recommend a selenite wand. It's really easy. You don't have to clear it. You don't have to worry about it collecting yuck vibrations. Just be careful because it's water soluble. And so if you stick it in water for a long period of time, it will dissolve eventually. Um, but most other crystals need to be cleansed because they'll pick up and hold on to energy. So you have to learn how to cleanse them and all of that. So if you're not a huge crystal person, selenite wand, they're cheap, they're effective, super high vibrational, don't hold on to any low vibrational energies, and they also clear other crystals. It's really, really powerful little chunk of silica, basically, in a very beautiful crystalline structure. So yeah, so you can really use that, and it will help to clear and cleanse your energy very, very effectively. There's tons of other things, saging, so on and so forth. So just find something that resonates with you. You can do a spiritual shower where you intend for the water to cleanse your energetic field. But it's just understanding that if you're like having a really good day and then you go to the grocery store and then all of a sudden you're just not feeling so good, or these racing thoughts come back, it can be because you're picking up on that intense energy in that environment, and it's sticking into your energy field. Okay. Anyways, back to the message at hand. Okay. We've got the second chakra, which is the sacral. It sits between the belly button and the base of the spine. It governs the reproductive system. It has to do with sensuality, pleasure, and creativity. What is coming through with this is there's definitely sensual energy that is here between you and your person. And there is also that element of you and your person creating something together. So for some of you, this might be a literal child. For some of you, it might be a business, could be just a creative project that you work on together. And it could even be, I'm picking up a muse energy. This is fun. So, okay, I feel like you both are actually muses for each other, and that might surprise you. Um, but there's something with your energy that inspires your feminine, and your feminine inspires you. And that is kind of natural in these counterpart connections, because it's triggering you to be your best version, in whatever that means at that given time. And so there's energetically something where you guys are going to both really help to tap into that deep creative energy. And then there is also that sensual, passionate energy as well. And then we've got the angel of love. So know that your connection is protected. It is being you're getting divine assistance heavily. You always are, but this is like there is I'm picking up like literal beings that are solely focused on these counterparts coming back into union right now. And it's really it's for you, it's for your feminine, and the big thing is it's for the collective. It's for humanity. No pressure. Um it's just understanding that that is literally a big part of this soul contract that you have with your counterpart is to energetically assist and counteract a lot of the darkness that exists on the planet right now as well. Okay. Then we've got envy. Envy's come out in quite a few of these. Um, is this envy 4? Okay, what I'm picking up is you have somebody in your energy. This could be a family member, this could be a close friend. Um, there is somebody who is harboring this envy energy for you. And it doesn't feel like it's very overt. It feels subtle, but it's there. And so that could be part of what is gunking up your energy field as well. Um, and this is where like clearing and cleansing your energy will be very helpful. And then if you're not sure of who this is, what I would recommend is just to ask and say, hey, whatever you work with, hey, universe, show me who it is that I need to be aware of that is holding this envy energy for me or for this connection so that I can pull my energy back or just be aware of it. And it's one of those you might dream of this person, you might hear their name, they might call you. Um Something like that, and then you'll get, like, a knowing almost of, like, "Oh, okay." Mine comes in my dreams a lot when I ask for insight like that. But it's not to provoke, anger or fear or anything else, it's just awareness. Because when you're aware of people around you who are harboring this envious energy, whether it's conscious or not, then you know what you're dealing with. So you know where certain boundaries might need to be placed. Maybe you don't talk to this person about your connection until you reach out to your person and you guys come up with a strategy and you're more anchoring it in. Stuff like that. But it's giving you information so that you can deal with it appropriately. Then we've got Healer of the Ages, and this landed on your side. And so I feel like something that you may not be aware of is that you are a healer. In how you can know if you're a healer, so it's just a few quick signs. This is a very informative video, so hopefully this is resonating for you. How you can know you're a healer is if a ton of people in your life come to you for advice, you're kind of the rock. Um, it, I mean, there's tons of other ways, but that's a very, very subtle one that is very, very indicative that you are indeed a healer. And the fact that you're on a counterpart journey tells me that you're probably a pretty ancient soul. You chose literally the hardest path to walk when it comes to the awakening journey. Um, and so you do have this natural healer energy. And the thing is healers pick up a ton of energetic gunk in their environment. And so I feel like this is part of why this is coming through right now is just to let you know that you do have a healing energy. And so you are literally moth to a flame kind of person where maybe you're just like, I don't really want to talk to anybody. I'm just going to go to the store. And then all of a sudden you're having a discussion about avocados with a stranger. And then they tell you their life story. That's because you have that healing energy. And so when you're a healer, it's just important to really kind of tap in and uh, get aware of where your energy is going. And then, after practice and clearing and cleansing and protecting and all of this, then it's not so draining because you're setting up energetic boundaries. Um, Also, I just noticed, so I've got these two cards together, and so this is also indicating that you and your person are healers. Like both of you have that healing energy. And not saying that that's necessarily what you're going to be doing, but for some of you, maybe you are. Maybe you're going to come together and offer healing in some way. Um, to the masses. Maybe that's part of why you're being pushed so hard to come back into union. For others of you, it's just an energy thing where you're just naturally sending out this healing energy, even if you're not consciously doing like an energy thing, like a Reiki healer or, offering shamanic work to people or whatever, crystal healing, that kind of thing. Um, yeah. So take that as it resonates. Okay. Let's see. What else wants to come out? Okay. Um, for some of you, you or your counterpart could be in a legal contract with another person, such as a marriage. Maybe one or both of you are going through a divorce, something like that. Take it as it resonates. For some of you, that might be part of what this walking away card is indicating. One or both of you may need to walk away from another long-term person. Um, And then for others of you, this could just indicate, it can indicate like legal stuff. So maybe I heard custody battle again. So for some of you, maybe you are going through a custody battle, and that's part of where you don't want to go towards your feminine is because you don't want to burden your feminine with that. But the message I'm getting is it's not going to burden your feminine. I feel like that's not going to really be a big thing. And then for others of you, what I'm picking up is this is just really, really solidifying the fact that you do have a soul contract with this person, and also you both have a collective contract. It gets kind of weird, but it's a collective contract to come together and really push out this healing energy into the ethers to really help assist the ascension process that's taking place on the planet. And we've got the world. In Yep. I just heard you've got a soul contract with the world. So that's confirmation. That's part of why you're being pushed so hard is because not only do you desire this, your feminine desires this, and there's soul contracts in play. So you are being hounded and pushed with this energy to reconnect with your person because there's so much more going on than just coming together and being in a relationship. There's more below the surface. And it's not saying that, this is going to be 24/7, what your focus is, because I do feel like there's going to be a lot of just peace and joy, and I'm seeing like traveling. Um for some of you, I am seeing a family, like starting a family or expanding your family, with like having kids. For some of you, I'm seeing you, it's like I'm seeing I'm seeing two people kind of chasing each other around their front yard barefoot in like a playful, just laughing energy, and like the sun's shining down. And in this one, there's no kids in that one. So for some of you, maybe kids aren't a factor. In that one, I am picking up a work thing. So for some of you, maybe you are coming together to work together as well. Um, I'm seeing a music studio. I'm seeing a podcast studio. I'm seeing a painting, like an art studio. There's a lot of studios going on. I'm seeing a book. I just saw a podcast again. Um, Anything else? And I just saw some of you working with animals, like conservation or maybe fostering dogs, or cats or whatever. Yeah, so take it as it resonates. It's always fun when I can tap into those beautiful visions. And you do really have a beautiful connection available to you. And I feel like you've got a ton of anxiety and worries when it comes to this, and you're it just so much in your head right now about all of the things, all of the things. It's heavy, heavy, heavy thought energy. And it's just that ruminating back and forth and thinking of all the what ifs and all the things. But then I'm also seeing that you are tapping into some of that daydreamy energy too, and thinking about all the potentiality you have with your person. Focus on that. Do your best to tap into that energy and tell the naysayer to just for a little bit, kick it into the back seat, tap into that energy because you have a beautiful connection here for you. And you want it. I mean, you really want this. And your person does too. Your person's more in just the allowing surrendered energy, which is a really, I mean, that's the energy your feminine almost needs to be in for this reunion to take place. So it's energetically, you both are just right there. Um, and you're just being asked to walk through this door to get your romance. Then we also have a woman holding a coin. Okay, is that a karmic energy? Interesting. There's a karmic feminine in your energy, and it has something to do with money. So maybe you have a controlling karmic feminine in your energy that is controlling when it comes to money. For some of you, I'm seeing that it's a burdened energy. So maybe you have and I'm seeing a mother. Take this as if it resonates, but for some of you, maybe part of where you're like, "Oh, I don't really want to bring any of this to my feminine is because you may have somebody who's like, I'm almost seeing like financially draining. So maybe you are helping to support your mother financially. That's really specific. So take that if it resonates. For some of you, maybe it's like a sister or a friend, or I just heard baby mama. Um, so I do feel like there is a drain on some of you where your finances are concerned, and you don't want to take that to your feminine. Um, Again, it's one of these things like understand what you have to offer your feminine is so much more than some of these karmic things that are going on around you. And the thing is when you allow yourself to go for this connection and walk through this door to romance, you are going to tap into your natural healing abilities. You're going to really activate your intuition on a deeper level. And so, solutions that you don't see now for some of this are going to be abundantly clear for you when you come into contact with your feminine. Um, so I guess the message coming through is like, don't allow that to stop you. Whatever's going on in your external world, if you're getting the insight to reach out to your person, hearing your person can handle it. It's not going to scare them away. So maybe that's part of what you're worried about too, is like once you go towards your feminine, you're going to have to eventually talk about it. Like, especially if you're, financially taking care of a parent or something like that, or, you're paying like alimony or child support and you're kind of in a financially strapped situation. That's going to come out at some point. And I don't see your feminine seeing that as a deal breaker. I really see your feminine being able to help you energetically shift into this cornucopia energy in this blossoming abundance where if you are taking care of a parent financially, you'll be able to take care of them financially in a way different at a way different level. It's like financial freedom that I'm picking up that is the potential in your energy. And if you've always kind of thought of a life of luxury or a certain level of financial stability, it's because that's what your soul wants. So it is available for you, and it's just allowing yourself to tap into it. And there's something going on where you communicating with your feminine is going to help you energetically shift into a place where you can obtain that physically way easier than what you even feel like is possible. I'm seeing like a jackpot in my mind's eye. Wouldn't that be some shit? Like you go and you communicate with your feminine and then you end up like winning a huge jackpot and then this isn't a worry anymore. Just saying, it is possible. Alrighty. Oh, I just caught it. Okay. Is that external hostilities or mental hostilities? External, mental. Okay. Oh, is that how they think the feminine thinks about them? Interesting. So the way that this card landed, I feel like you may be worried that your feminine is going to judge you. Or okay, I'm seeing that for some of you, you may communicate something with your feminine, or you may be worried about communicating about something because you feel like your feminine's going to judge you, or it's going to be like a deal breaker, but I'm not picking that up in this energy. I feel like this is just an illusion, like a perspective that you have that's not actually accurate. So take that as it resonates. But I don't feel like whatever this is or these few things are that you're worried about being a deal breaker for your feminine, I don't feel like it's going to be. So again, that's going to that's going to vary for each of you. But if this is something you're worried about, I really don't feel like your feminine's in a judgmental energy. And I'm kind of like feeling the energy of you communicating this with your feminine, and it might take a minute to process it, but it's not, I don't feel like it's a deal breaker. And that's all I'm being shown. So, okie dokie. Um, we do have Goddess of the Moon, and this is really talking about intuition. Um, Yeah, so this is just a reminder to continue to tap into your intuition, continue to build that relationship with your intuition. And I was going to say when it's time to move, like go towards your feminine, but it's the times now. If you're watching this, the times now. It's all good. And then we've got happy family. And so yeah, this just confirms what I was seeing earlier with the happy family energy. So you literally have a loving, romantic, caring connection available to you with the person of your dreams, is how I feel like you view this person. And it's because it's your counterpart. So that's, divine design is what I just heard. Ooh, ours. That'd be a good one. Okay, anyways, I'm getting distracted. So you have the life of your dreams available to you if you choose to walk through this door and allow yourself to it, okay, stay open and vulnerable and be honest with your person. This isn't saying to reach out to them and be like, okay, I'm going to tell you every dark dirty thing ever, but don't keep it from your feminine either. So when it naturally organically comes up in conversation, allow it to come up, allow yourself to take that risk and to share certain things with your feminine, and trust your feminine enough to know that your feminine is not in a judgmental energy. Your feminine is not going to sit there and be like, oh, I can't believe you did that one thing and I'm out. It's not that kind of an energy. It's really not. And I feel like your feminine's going to see and feel the amount of growth that has taken place within you, even if you don't see it, I can feel the energy. You've shifted a lot, and you wouldn't be here at this union doorway if you weren't ready for it. You've healed enough. You've awakened enough. You're ready. You're ready for it. You got this. You got this. Okay. With that, is that the message? Okay. One sec. I am going to go ahead and leave this here. I feel like this was a long one again. I get whisked away in this energy sometimes, but it's beautiful. It really is. You have an amusing, amazing connection available for you. And, I mean, I feel like this is if you were to sit there and allow yourself to just daydream about the life of your dreams, that's literally what you have available for you in one way or another. Energetically, you have that available for you. And all you're being asked to do is to just open this door and communicate with your feminine and allow it to organically unfold and then come up with a strategy together on how to, make this happen and allow this to happen, really. That's better terms. Allow this to happen. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. I hope this resonated. If so, you can let me know in the comments below. I would love to talk to you about it. If you like this message, feel free to hit that like button. It does help out the channel, so thank you. And if you would like to see more from me, you can hit subscribe. It is free, and I will see you on the next message. Bye.